Hello, Facebook. How are you doing? I'm Brando from the Courtney Show and 1065 The Arch, welcoming you to a tour of all things dairy. And to give us that tour is my good buddy, Brian Riegel from Riegel Dairy Farm. How's it going?
Doing good, and you?
I am so excited. If anyone listens to the show, you know I have a real obsession with milk. My family, we go through literally about 6 gallons of milk a week. So we are big customers of yours. So I'm really excited to be here. Dierbergs as welcome us here, along with Undeniably Dairy and here at Riegel Dairy Farm. And Brian's going to give us a big tour. So where are we starting off?
Well, here we're in the maternity pen. So behind us, we have cows. They're all going to have a calf within the next 10 days. The next pen up, they're going to have a calf within 30 days. So they're going to have a calf here in the straw pack. And then that calf will be cleaned off, dried off by the cow.
Mm-hmm.
And then within 3 hours, we're going to make sure that that calf gets colostrum from its cow.
So I know we were hoping we get to see a calf like while we were here. No calves at this moment, but how big is a calf when it's newborn? Like weight, size, all that good stuff.
So our average calves are around 90 pounds. They can get up to about 105 pounds.
Wow. That's a proud mama.
It is a lot of weight to carry.
And so where do the calves go from here? I mean, do they stay with mom, or is there another location for them? Like what's the next step for a calf?
So as soon as the calf's born, the first thing that we're worried about is everything for that calf. We want to make sure that it's dried off, vaccinated, gets the colostrum milk, and then from here we're going to make sure we separate it from the older herd into a nursery. And in that nursery, they'll stay in an individual pen for about 10 days,
mm-hmm.
where they're learning how to suck on a nipple better, the bottle better. From there, they're going to go into a group housing where there'll be 25 sister calves all together. At that time, they're going to start learning how to feed on an automatic feeding station. So every calf at 10 days of age is going to get this little RFID tag.
Oh, okay.
This RFID tag, when it walks by a magnet, energizes and can tell a computer what calf is standing inside of the station where it's supposed to eat.
Wow.
And then there's a computer that will make sure that she can get up to 4 quarts every 6 hours. So it's consistently able to feed off of that.
Sure. So you can really keep track of the calf's health just through these chips?
Yeah. So the computer has a way that it will tell us that it whether it's drinking slower or not drinking everything that it's supposed to. And then we're able to go in with some supportive therapies, maybe an electrolyte or some kind of other good enzymes or something to help get the stomach started.
Wow. So do they make these for human babies? Because we've got 4 kids. This would have been very helpful.
Well, there's a lot of things going on in the industry right now where some people have some conspiracy theories, but I don't think we're doing this yet.
I mean, it's an adorable little tag. I would have clipped that on one of the kids' ears, when they were little. And if I would have known, like, if they needed gas medicine or a little more milk, or if they're drinking slowly, that would have been helpful. So this is interesting. It's really great technology. It probably makes the whole process so much easier.
It does, all the way through the process, and we'll follow up later on where this will come useful again as they grow older. We'll cover that as they become cows.
Cool. So you said these are like the soon to be mothers, basically, right behind us.
Yes.
And then over there is it's on the horizon moms. So where does the waiting room for the dad, the bulls where they're smoking cigars and waiting to find out, do they play a part here, or are they not even near?
So on our farm, we don't have any bulls that are over 2 days old. All of our bulls get sold to a neighboring farm where they'll raise them out for beef. All of our cows are artificially inseminated. just because of the safety factor of having a Holstein bull on the farm. They're large, they have attitudes, and to keep them separated from a lot of the help is a safety issue for us and them.
It's like Amazons, right? Joey, he's doing camera. He liked that joke. All right. So what else do we need to know about the nursery? Because you call it, basically this is the nursery is what you referred to it as.
This is the maternity building. The calves are going to go to the nursery, and in the nursery they're learning how to commingle. They'll get through the milk. They'll be weaned off the milk within two months. Then they'll go into a grower unit, and in that grower unit they learn how to use the free stalls, which we have some over here.
Okay.
Where the cows are all going to lay individually in the free stalls, and then we bed with sand, so they're able to.
Oh, that's cool.
Get comfortable.
They're like cows on the beach.
Yeah, that's kind of life on the beach here.
So I should mention that Sammy is helping us out as well, manning the Facebook Live. And so if you have any questions or anything, put those questions in the chat, and Sammy can ask those questions for you, and we'll answer those questions for you as we walk around and take the tour. So I think we're going to move over to the nursery now. But Sammy, if you do have any questions that have popped up already, fire away, and we can probably answer them as we go.
Thanks, Brando. I just want to let you know, Crystal is very excited to join your live today. She was listening in on the morning show this morning.
Okay, good. Well, Crystal knows how excited I am to be around so much milk. All right, so we're walking and talking. This is just like CBS Sunday Morning. This is how they do it. I'll talk about my childhood. No, but you tell me where we're headed now.
Well, as we're walking over to the next group, as the calves keep going through the age, at 2 years of age is when they go back up into the maternity pen, and they're going to have their first calf.
Oh, wow.
So we followed the calf all the way up to when she becomes a cow. And at that point is the first time that she can start producing milk.
Oh, okay.
So after she has the calf, the cow's going to follow us over here into these other groups, into the milking stream. And here I can kind of show you some of the ways that we keep the cows cool, comfortable, well fed. And so up above, we have large ceiling fans. They're 24 foot. So we're always putting air on them, just that's kind of their AC. And then when the temperature gets above 70 degrees, we got sprinklers here that will sprinkle their backs so they can come up here, get relief from the heat, and then go lay back down on the beach.
Yeah, you got the beach set up in here too. Well, you can really feel the air moving in here. Yeah. I mean, it's a warm day today. We're in the 90s, I think, but it's much cooler in here. So that's fantastic.
So it's basically the shade tree with a fan and the sprinklers. Also, while they're over here, we're able to share a TMR with them. So it's a totally mixed ration.
Okay.
And so everything in here that they need is calculated. Their proteins, their energies, their carbohydrates, the fibers is all designed in here. And over here, I got some samples of what it takes to put that together.
Oh, so like everything broken down?
Kind of broken down. And this is what we have on the farm. This might be half of the ingredients that are in this product. So on this first one, we have corn gluten. So somebody got their high fructose corn syrup.
Yeah.
I got protein and fiber. So we're feeding cows byproducts that to people is absolutely worthless.
Right, but great for them, I guess.
This one here is hominy. Somebody's getting grits. I get the remaining part of that, the corn.
Oh, yeah.
And this one here is kind of a famous part of St. Louis. This is brewer's grain. So if anybody out there consuming a little beer, I get the byproduct. This is a high fiber, high protein.
That's fantastic. So they're not getting drunk off of that, right? Like there's no.
So this part is actually separated before the fermentation happens. Oh. So they take the sugars out of the grain.
Sorry, ladies.
On this one here is kind of interesting. It's cottonseed.
You're kidding.
Yeah. So you get your genes and I get the seed.
That's wild.
So that's a great fiber, protein, and it has a great fat source in that one. And then this one makes up the majority of the diet. This is corn silage. So we take the entire corn plant, grind it up, and then sile it. So when we mix all these together in the proper ration, we get a TMR.
So you're doing that on site here. You're mixing all these ingredients together.
Yes,
That's got to be a big job.
it does definitely take a big equipment and take somebody a lot of time. Keeps
And
busy.
so we talked about these RFID tags for the calves, and they're on them for the life of the cow, right? So does that connect to what they're like? Do you keep track of what they're eating or how much they're eating, or
So
how
to
does
go
that
with
work?
that part on the RFID tag, then we're going to add this new little technology here.
Oh,
It's
okay.
it's a motion sensor. So the RFID tag we looked at earlier gets energized by a magnet and then
Mhm.
gives off information. This one has a 5-year battery in it. So this tag here records whether she's eating, chewing her cud, walking, she has a fever, she's laying down, and we get all these measurements. And then it'll tell us how the cow's feeling, or if there's something we need to do to help her out, see what's going on, whether we need to do, electrolytes.
You're kidding.
Make sure she's finding the feed trough, stuff like that.
So they're like high-tech mood rings for the cows. You can just look out there and be like, everybody's in a good mood today. Everyone seems healthy. Everyone's happy.
Yeah.
And other days you're like, I don't know what's going on. They're not happy. We better go do something. Better give them a treat.
For sure. So when we go back to the feed part of that, this what we just looked at on the tag definitely helps us know if they're eating or they're consuming.
Yeah.
Some of our top producing cows are eating 140 pounds of this TMR every day.
140 pounds.
140 pounds. And then those same cows on the farm here, we average 90 pounds of milk per cow per day.
Holy moly. So that I'm terrible at math. That's like, I mean, how many truckloads, like those big tanker truckloads, is that like one a day?
So we do a little bit over one a day. And then we're milking 650 cows, and these 650 cows will produce enough milk for 40,000 people's dairy needs or requirements or what they're consuming.
Yeah. Or just our house, my house, in one day. No, like a lot of milk. So this has got to be, obviously the amount of feed that you're going through in a daily basis to keep these ladies fed. What's the cleaning process like? I mean,
so we seen the feed, and then we see that after they're eating, they're making manure and they're laying up in a clean, dry space. Well, to keep all this clean and dry, we're going to flush today.
oh, okay. So we're on the move.
We're going to clean where the cows are walking up, so you can kind of see how quickly we can clean and walk on around over to here.
Okay. I feel like I'm walking into a trap here. What am I doing?
Go ahead and open this up. Turn it to the counterclockwise. 2 hands.
All right. I gotta here, hold my chips here. Here we go.
Keep going.
I think I'm trying to save everyone on a submarine or something. I hear something
If you're
going
not careful, you're going to sink the ship.
Yeah, I think it's
Go
usually
ahead,
the other
open her
way.
up.
All right. This one cow is really giving me the eyes. Like, what are you doing? Oh, look at this. So there's
Open her up.
water just blasting out of here now. This is not a power steering device. So you got beach and you've got an ocean. Look at this. So how often do you do this?
So this will get done 9 times a day. You can go ahead and zip her shut.
Okay. Yeah, they're all looking at me like, you're messing it up, dude. You're only supposed to leave it on for like 30 seconds. Who's this dumb noob?
So the experience that we don't get to share right now is the aromas that you're smelling, right?
Yeah, that's fantastic.
But as you look down the alleyway, you can see how we took the manure, we flushed it on. Also, any sand that was knocked out went along with the water. So this is going to carry down to the end of the barn and to what we call a sand settling lane. So the water is going to slow down, the sand is going to settle out, and then manure water is going to go to the next stages where it'll be a lagoon, and the manure can separate out, settle down more. Then we reclaim that sand, we let it dry and decompose any organic material out of it,
Sure.
and then it'll come back up and use back up into the bedding.
Well, then you probably, I mean, I'm guessing a lot of this you can use for fertilizer, or, you know, what's that process?
So most definitely, all the water that we're using here, if we end up with any excess, we can run through irrigation systems, and any of the stuff that's settling out, we'll put on as a top dressing in the fall to help grow the crops the next year.
I've been told that dairy farming typically starts pretty early in the day. What time are you starting? Like, what time do you get up? That's everybody asks me. I'll ask you, what time do you get up in the morning?
Well, I'm going to say I'm a lot softer than my grandpa was. I usually start my day around 6:30 and usually go to about 6:30, 7 o'clock in the evening.
Oh, that's a long day. This is not an easy gig, right?
Everything's been getting easier. You know, we always go with the technology, what we've been sharing with you, but no, there's always going to be the physical aspect. You're walking amongst 1,800-pound animals. Things are heavy. All of the sand free stalls that you've seen, we hand manicure with rakes to make sure that we get everything nice and leveled out.
Mm-hmm.
You know, and then we got to milk them 3 times a day.
Yeah. Well, so I guess is that where we're headed next?
So in the milk house, the cows are going to come in on a double 24 parlor is what we call it. Okay. So on each side, we have 24 cows, and we're going to milk them from behind.
And where do you find all the little old ladies to sit on the cans and milk them? Like, is that a labor intensive process, or have times changed since me watching Looney Tunes?
Yeah, it's evolved a little bit on that one. So the process starts with the cows coming in, and they know how to turn, and they'll stand there. And then from behind, we're going to come first with a scrub brush and a disinfectant that'll clean the teat and also prep it for the next stage. After they do that, they'll come back and they'll put on the milking claw, and the claw will automatically detect when she's about done.
Oh, okay.
At that stage, the claw will come off, and the cow will wait to
Oh, okay, cool. Yeah, I think you're seeing some video that was shot earlier of the milking room here.
So when the process is done, then they're going to come through with a post dip, which is just a chlorhexidine disinfectant, which helps keep the teat protected until the next time where the process starts again. And we milk them 3 times a day. Our highest producing cows given 175 pounds of milk. Wow.
Do you give them special awards for that, or?
We definitely make sure we can give them the best attention we can.
Well, yeah. They're your superstars. So let's see. I think we're back. Yeah, we're seeing a little bit of the earlier B-roll here. So what room are we in right now?
So the barn that we're currently walking to now is our highest producing group. Everything in here has at least had 2 calves. Some of them maybe 8 calves.
Wow.
This pen on average is given 130 pounds of milk. They're eating 155 pounds of feed. And they'll spend about 200 days in this pen before they'll progress over to a different one. When we were talking about the rations earlier, this here's a high energy, high protein. And the next stage will be a little less energy, a little less protein. As their requirements decrease, we'll match the feed accordingly.
So, yeah, so this is like the major league team. And then over there, you got like the AAA.
Yeah, it kind of moves through a little bit like that.
Getting a little slower, a little longer in the tooth.
Yep.
So how many cows are we talking about? I feel like I've already seen like hundreds of cows, and we've only been in 3 of I don't know how many barns. What's the head count here?
So on the milking herd, it's 650. But if we talk about one that was born this morning, all the way to the oldest cow, we got 1,300 animals on this hill.
1,300, holy moly! That's a huge, I mean, I guess those RFID chips, I mean, that's the easiest way to keep track of such a large herd.
It definitely helps. This all started in 47 when my grandparents got a cow as a wedding present.
Mm-hmm.
My dad and his three brothers.
Started with one cow. You're kidding.
One cow. The neighbor's bull across the fence had a calf, and away we go, right?
And you're like, let's just keep doing this till we get to about 1,400 of these.
Then my dad and his three brothers ran it, and now I'm third generation, and we're taking it over and bringing it forward. And then we got some of the fourth generation with their boots on the farm here. So
That's awesome.
We take a lot of pride in that, being able to work together and get where we're at.
And you've always been at this location?
Yep.
That's a really neat story. All right. Well, what do we have next? Oh, we got questions. Sammy, any questions came in?
Yeah, we have lots of comments coming in. Amazing technology. It's your opening of the you doing the flushing system, Brando, was really cool. We have a question from Donna. I think she missed the beginning of the tour and was looking for wanting to know where are the newborn calves. And could you talk a little bit back, Brian, about where the calves are?
So we kind of started like earlier where we had the maternity pen where the calf's going to spend maybe up to 6 hours. And then we're going to make sure that we're separated out after it's already had some vaccines, got the colostrum milk from the mother cow. And that also helps with the immunity of the calf. So it's a strong calf with everything she needs. And it'll go from there into what we call the nursery. Where the calf will be by itself for 10 days in an individual pen so that we can monitor it very closely and make sure it gets everything it needs. And at that time, it's getting stronger and learning how to suckle out of a bottle, where then it'll move into the group part of that of 25 calves and start learning the social aspect of that and onto the auto feeder.
Cool. I hope that answers her question. Any other questions?
Yeah, one more. Mary wanted to ask, how much milk does one cow produce?
So on our farm, the average is 90 pounds. That's roughly 11 gallons. The top cow I have is given 175 pounds. Everything we do is in pounds. We call it hundredweight. And then when it gets to the grocery store, it's converted to your guys' gallons and quarts.
Any other questions, Sammy?
Emily's asking, how much does an average adult cow weigh?
On average, on a Holstein breed, we're about 1,700 pounds. The heaviest cow I have on the farm right now is 2,200 pounds. And
she's working on it.
She got into the feed trough. So after we kind of looked at the milk house and stuff where it goes. So it goes from when the milk leaves the cow at 101.7 degrees is what a cow's temperature is.
Oh, okay.
It'll go through filters and into the bulk tank under a minute. So it goes from 101.7 down to 40 degrees in under a minute, trying to make sure that we always have a great quality, fresh product.
Wow. How do you achieve such a drop in temperature that fast?
It's going through a plate cooler, some geothermal cooling units, basically, that's able to do that cooling and get it done. The milk will leave our farm in a semi-load and go to a bottling plant.
Mm-hmm.
And from there, it's going to go to your local grocery store and be ready for you. And that whole process is going to happen under 48 hours.
That's impressive. All right. So what else do we need to know about this barn?
I think we pretty much covered everything.
All right. Where are we going next?
Any other questions or?
You got any other questions, Sammy?
No more on the feed.
You're just nailing it. Everybody loves it. we're watching one of the cows drink right now. It's warm out here today. Staying hydrated. So is this our last stop?
This will be our last stop.
All right. We've talked about how much milk they produce. You get up early. I got you beat, but you do get up early.
I'm a little softer than Grandpa. I admit that.
I think your grandpa and I have a lot in common as far as when we're getting up. We talked about the cooling process for the milk, which is unbelievable. Overall, like obviously this is a family endeavor. I'm sure that has to feel great to be a part of a legacy. I mean, other than that, what do you love about being a dairy farmer?
I guess it's almost a lot of risk reward, the technology that we're always putting into it, always being able to strive to do better. It's great knowing that you're feeding a lot of people, you're making a lot of great products. When you go to the store and you can see it out there and people buying it, or after a baseball game, you know, people are getting their kids ice cream, all those kind of things just bring a little joy to it. And then you just know when you're going back to work, you're the starting process of all that.
Now, if you had to pick out of all the products that you make from starting, you know, with a dairy product, what is your favorite dairy product?
Well, there's two on this one. Most consumed chocolate milk. Favorite's going to be a good old Blizzard Art shake, you know, get some ice cream going.
I was going to say ice cream for me too. I love milk, but I mean, come on, you can't do much better than ice cream.
That's true.
All right, Brian. Well, thank you so much. I mean, I feel like we've all learned a lot. Any other questions on the line before we go, Sammy?
No, not today.
All right. Well, big thank you to Dierbergs for having us out here. Also, Undeniably Dairy. You know, next time you're at Dierbergs, grab a gallon of milk, and now you know a little bit about where that milk came from. And obviously, Brian Riegel, thank you so much.
Thanks for coming out.
Have a great day.